Daniel Island residents say they're outraged after an alligator that had lived in their apartment complex's pond was unnecessarily killed last week. Now, the residents of the neighborhood were upset that Walter, the alligator, was inevitably killed. Daniel Island Village apartment complex residents say that the relationship that they had built between themselves and the alligator was pretty mutual. He didn't bother them, they didn't bother him. And that went on for over a decade, as Walter has come to find out that he was 12 years old. That was until Friday, when one resident says she witnessed Walter's throat being slit right in front of her by a trapper.
Walter the alligator was around 12 years old and could often be found sunbathing at his favorite spot near this pond. To many, Walter was more than an alligator, as he was part of daily life for many residents who walked right by him.
When you would walk by, Walter just didn't even acknowledge you. He was just laying there by the water, and when you can see it's not that far away from where he was to the trail, and never felt nervous or afraid or anything. He never did anything other than just lay there and enjoy the sun. In the 12 years he was here, he's never had a single incident of doing anything to a person or a pet.
Rebecca Cole lives above the pond Walter hung around and says when she went outside on Thursday, she saw a trapper with a fishing pole baited with chicken attempting to capture Walter, but that the gator was clearly trying to avoid the trapper because he quickly ran away and dove into the pond. The next day, she says she watched Walter be killed right in front of her.
By the time I got down the stairs, he had him hooked around the neck, and he was pulling him along here, and then he took him over to the big oak tree behind me. By that time, I had called all my friends, and they were coming out trying to get the police and ask for his license and his permit. While one of the girls was on the phone with the police, he just took his knife out and slit his throat in front of all of us.
Cole says the apartment complex just came under new management, and those in charge decided Walter posed a risk to residents. But community members say he was a non-threatening, docile creature with a calm demeanor.
He didn't bother anybody. I mean, we have a dog. You see, we've gone by him a million times. Big dogs, little dogs, children. He's just been a staple here and our little PR person. So not just the act of him being killed, but why. And it broke all our hearts. And the thing is, now he's gone.
The apartment complex released a statement to residents about Walter, saying in part, quote, DNR was contacted to ensure the safety of our residents and their pets. The DNR acted within their protocol and ultimately determined that euthanizing the alligator was the best way to minimize risk. Although Walter's euthanasia on the property was done in compliance with state law, we understand this news about his passing can be distressing and sincerely appreciate your understanding.
Now, Walter had such an impact on the community that residents even held a vigil on Saturday to honor him. His favorite spot to linger is now marked with a blue ribbon placed by residents to honor him. Now, we did reach out to the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources for comment about this situation. They responded with this. We have issued this community one depredation permit each of the past 2 years to use at their own discretion if they have an issue with an alligator. This year, the community chose to use its permit on this animal, and the community hired a nuisance wildlife company to carry this out. SCDNR did not hire or dispatch anyone to remove the alligator in this case.